Assalamu alaikum. This is Hamza Irfan from Feeling Blessed. And joining me today, we have a podcast for the Giving Tuesday Speaker Series. And joining me today is Ummara from Akhuwat. So Ummara is the country coordinator for Akhuwat UK. And, like many nonprofits in Pakistan, Akhuwat Foundation is currently engaged in reconstructing homes damaged during the floods in Pakistan. And these floods, as you're already aware, have claimed nearly 2,000 lives, and an estimated 1.7 million homes have either been damaged or destroyed. So I'll just briefly introduce you about Akhuwat. So Akhuwat is one of the largest nonprofits in Pakistan. It has about 800 branches, and it has 5.4 million beneficiaries. So this is a huge figure. It comprises about 2.5% of Pakistan's population. So since its inception in 2001 by Amjad Saqib Sahab, it has disbursed interest-free loans worth 800 million US dollars. So apart from that, Akhuwat is operating more than 300 schools and 3 colleges. So Akhuwat is currently raising funds for rebuilding homes, and you can, participate in this fundraiser by going to this link. So this link is in the description, and you can also, scan this QR code. So Ummara, thank you so much for joining us today for this podcast. So our goal is again to support Akhuwat's fundraiser that is live on the Feeling Blessed app. So my first question to you is, so what is keeping Akhuwat busy these days?
Thank you so much for having me here. So Akhuwat is actually quite active as usual from the last 22 years. And the biggest challenge, we're having is the flood and the rehabilitation of the houses. So basically, Akhuwat is busy, quite much busy in the process of reconstruction and rehabilitation of the destructive houses and in managing the lives of the affected people. So we have different projects along with that too. For example, Akhuwat University, Kasur, then our interest-free microfinance loans, our medical related projects, and then we have 2 phases of our, flood relief. Number 1 deals with the money related, financial problems, like we give money to the needy people. Then we have medical camps. Then we distribute food in the affected areas. And the phase number 2, which is the most important, need of the hour, is the rehabilitation and the reconstruction of the affected houses. That is how we are keeping ourselves busy, and this is how we are helping the needy people in Pakistan.
And so can you share some statistics regarding, the homes damaged, the lives lost, and overall, generally, how many people have been affected by these floods?
So actually, if you talk about the overall destruction, the statistic shows that 33 million people have been, affected by this natural calamity. And out of 33 million, 8 million people have been displaced, like they have lost their houses, or their houses have, their lands have been, completely damaged. They are damaged in a way that they cannot remake their houses in that financial capacity in which they are having right now. So if we compare that with, the last flood, which happened in 2010, that's a huge number of damaged houses. If we talk about the livestock, about the lives we have lost, around 1,800, more than 1,800 people we have lost this year. So that's a huge number.
So, there's obviously a difference between the first wave of flood relief and the second. So in the first wave, families were displaced, they needed new homes. And in the second wave, we have these waterborne diseases. We have, malaria and a host of other diseases. So can you talk more about this?
So yeah, Pakistan is already, being challenged by polio, malaria, typhoid. So all these airborne diseases and waterborne diseases have been, they have manifested in this time of flood because of how the water brings that destruction, because when it's gathered at one place and it's been gathered by different pollutants and other insects which become, and different germs which becomes the reason of different diseases. So one of the major challenges we are having is in the profound increase in the malaria, in the cases of malaria particularly, and on the second number, typhoid. So Akhuwat is helping the best to help by having different medical camps and by sending their medical teams, doctors to different places where we need to manage the people. And we have to see that even just not the children and overall people are suffering from it, especially the women who are pregnant. They are a big challenge for the government of Pakistan, if we see particularly, because we have to save the double life in that way. And all these diseases, especially if we talk about malaria and typhoid, they are particularly very dangerous for a woman who's pregnant. So we have to take care of the children, we have to take care of the pregnant people, we have to pregnant women, we have to take care of the elderly people who are old and who are already been sick. So it's kind of a challenge which is targeting us in different ways, and we have to do our best at how we can manage it.
Mhm. And Ummara, we also have to see that in the coming days, so the temperatures are going down, and obviously that actually creates the need for to rebuild homes as soon as possible, because these people, first they're starving, they don't have access to medicines, and now they have to also experience extreme cold, and a lot of areas, these are deserts. So this is where the temperature gets really low. So in light of this discussion, we cannot just we cannot overemphasize the importance of houses. And this brings me to another question. So what types of resources, physical or otherwise, what resources are making a real difference these days?
So since COVID-19, we have seen that everything has gone online, everything has been digitalized. So particularly, I'll talk about the importance and the changes we have seen, that previously the donations were made by physical campaigns, physical activities. But this time we have seen the impact of online activities, online campaigns, online donations, how people are interacting and trusting, especially the renowned and trusted organizations. So of course, electronic media, social media, physical activities, we are taking help from all these resources. We are just not believing in just one resource, or we just not in that direction that we just have to go online, or we just have to take part in the physical. We are taking the maximum use of multiple resources so that the needy people should get benefit from that, and that we should reach all the masses either through any physical mean or online mean.
Mhm. And so I would like to share with the viewers, so the link to donate to the fundraiser set up by Akhuwat on the Feeling Blessed app. You can go to this link over here, or you can, scan this QR code. So, the donations that you give will be used to rebuild homes damaged by the Pakistani floods. And I must also emphasize that, it's all about giving. It doesn't matter if the amount is too small. I mean, even $1 can make a huge difference. And Ummara, if you could broadcast one message to the Feeling Blessed donors, what would be that message?
So there is a lot of scam going on these days. So I will request all the members of your community to donate and to trust very wisely, because I think this is the right of the needy person, that the right amount, the amount which you give from your pocket should reach the deserving person. So for that, do check if the organization, if the charity foundation is registered, if it has good reputation. Do some research. Even if you have to give $1, do research first, because again, there are a lot of scammers who are behind this, all this, advantage. They can take the advantage out of all this situation. And secondly, donation, charity, giving. This is something which brings happiness in your life, in your, which impacts you positively. So it's just not that in a way you're just helping, it's actually helping yourself, making yourself happy, making yourself content. And I think that's the basic goal for every person, that we have to make ourselves content and happy. So by, if you're giving, if you're donating in any way, by mean of any physical thing, by mean of any financial money or anything you're donating, make sure that you are doing a great thing. You will be rewarded for that. And again, in a way, you are actually making a positive impact in your mind and in your life.
Thank you, Ummara. Thank you so much for taking time to participate in this podcast for Giving Tuesday. And we really appreciate your efforts, the efforts by the Akhuwat team. And it's been, the floods first came in the month of in August, and we're still, facing difficulties. We're still facing huge challenges. So, I would again request the viewers to donate as much as they can. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your efforts.